Rumors are swirling that Star Wars will recast Meryl Streep as Princess Leia.
Uwe Boll wants to sue Rampage.
And could Donald Glover's Deadpool animated series be saved by this leaked test footage?
Deadpool could save anything with the chimichanga and some vigorous masturbation.
Don't forget the murder.
I'm Dave Klein.
And I'm Whitney Van Lanningham.
And this is Nerdwire.
You're not Deadpool, this is Nerdwire! The worst day of my life was when Carrie Fisher passed away unexpectedly in 2016, but the cast and crew of Star Wars has been facing an equally rough conundrum. How do we wrap up the next Star Wars movie without Princess Leia?
Leia was initially intended to be the driving force behind Episode 9, similar to how Han was in Episode 7 and Luke in Episode 8. However, that version of the script by Colin Trevorrow has been scrapped with him being replaced by J.J. Abrams. And while it's unconfirmed how large of a role Leia is meant to play in the current iteration of Episode 9, a rumor is circulating that Meryl Streep may be stepping up to replace Carrie Fisher.
This is the worst idea I've ever heard. There's absolutely no way that they can replace Carrie Fisher. Over the past few decades, Princess Leia and Carrie Fisher became synonymous names, and there's absolutely zero way any fan would ever be okay with her character being recast. Besides, can you imagine what our options are here? We can either have CGI Leia, or a Leia that didn't spend over 35 years of her life doing cocaine and fending off fanboy boners, and I don't want either one.
But it's better than nothing, right? I mean, what else are they going to do? Drop her from the series with no explanation?
Dude, there's so many ways that they could do this without having to recast. For example, we could sift through Rian Johnson's footage and find outtakes and deleted scenes to Frankenstein into a storyline where Leia gets killed in battle. Or we could simply start Episode 9 with a funeral pyre in her honor. Just please, please don't put Miranda Priestley in the cinnamon buns. If you stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herders think that you can replace our galaxy's princess, you can go jump in a Sarlacc pit.
Who knows? I mean, maybe Meryl will pull it off.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
If you're comparing me to Han Solo, I'll take it. Uwe Boll is back in the news, and guess what? He's angry again!
It's almost like he's purposely being a loud, raging asshole just to get attention.
Did you say Raging Boll?
No, I said raging asshole.
Boll?
No!
Play the clip from Raging Boll, the event where Uwe Boll decided to box movie critics because somehow that would prove his movies weren't bad. I wrote that joke just so I'd have an excuse to show the clip.
Last month, Uwe Boll was in the news because he was angry that the Phantom Thread posters were too similar to Blood Rain, saying, "I wouldn't have believed it, but Paul Thomas Anderson is giving us a verifiable f*** you after I criticized Phantom Thread on Uwe Boll Raw."
Do you mean to say he thinks Paul Thomas Anderson watches his show from his YouTube channel that has like 5,000 subscribers?
No, of course not! Paul Thomas Anderson obviously goes to his website, uwebollraw.com, which links to his YouTube channel that gets roughly 500 views an episode.
Wow, that makes way more sense! Well anyways, this time Uwe Boll is so angry because the upcoming Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movie is titled Rampage, the same name as one of his former critically acclaimed movies, Rampage.
Uwe Boll then showed everyone his street cred by graffitiing up various posters.
No, that's Microsoft Paint.
Well, there goes all his street cred.
That's really all he's mad about. He's mad because the two movies have the same name. When I first heard the story, I thought maybe he was mad he wasn't optioned to make a Rampage movie, but as far as we can tell, he doesn't seem to have any idea that this is based off of a 1980s video game that came out far before his movie ever did.
No! They stole the name! Uwe Boll stated, "We're living now in a world where independent movies are dead and the big players only are making all the money. That they then use develop brands and ideas from established series such as my Rampage films in order to make even more money is unfair but typical. I want that Warner's Change title, especially because the new movie has nothing to do with Rampage and looks more like Jumanji 2 and is one of those typical feel-good popcorn bullshit movies that the studios use to brainwash Americans even more."
It's from a game that released before his movie! It has nothing to do with his dumb movie!
Rampage was an absolute masterpiece, Dave! According to Uwe Boll and nobody else, which is why he went on Twitter to see what he's gonna sue Warner Brothers, and we'll update everyone soon.
You know what? I hope he does, just to see what happens. Maybe he'll lose all the money he made on his restaurant in Vancouver, which is actually apparently pretty good.
Maybe he should stick to food, which apparently is his true calling.
Nah, this is way more entertaining.
Earlier this week, we talked about how a Deadpool animation was in the works with Donald Glover, the Childish Gambino at the helm, and also in that same story that it was canceled.
It was a true roller coaster of emotions, and I'm still upset about it.
Wanna be even more upset?
Not really.
Animation studio Titmouse released test footage from the animation showcasing what it could have been and what you'll never have.
That looks so good, and completely in tone with the Deadpool films.
It's possible that this could be a ploy to get the show made anyways due to popular demand, as a similar thing happened with the Deadpool film when Ryan Reynolds, or someone on staff, accidentally leaked test footage.
We've also received an update that an episode about Taylor Swift may have been the straw that broke the camel's back.
Not T-Swift, that doesn't even make any sense. She's a huge fan of Deadpool, she's best friends with Ryan Reynolds and his wife Blake Lively, and she even borrowed Ryan's Deadpool costume a few years ago for Halloween. She'd never be mad about Deadpool making fun of her.
Well, in a since-deleted tweet by Donald Glover's brother, Stephen Glover, who was also working on the show, there definitely was a Taylor Swift episode. It was hilarious, and it was definitely the last straw. Lol.
That doesn't even make sense. T Swift loves Deadpool.
Well, studio's gonna do what a studio's gonna do. Either way, at the moment it remains creative differences for the reason the show was canceled.
But hopefully if fans are still loud enough, we can see that project pick back up. Make sure to like and subscribe to Nerdwire and to follow the Nerdwire HQ on Twitter for more news and discussions.
Could Deadpool the animated series be saved?
And is it acceptable to replace Carrie Fisher with Meryl Streep? I mean, no, it's not. But give us your opinions in the comments.
Nope. Yeah, nope. Not at all.
It's the worst idea. Bye, mama!